going to try and escape the Temple of the Jade Serpent. And I don't mean by going back through the instance portal. No, I want to escape the instanced version of this dungeon. It's quite easy to do, but it's what happens afterwards that's the fun. So first of all, I have to defeat a couple of bosses. This boss here and this boss here. The reason why is we need to open up this area, which is only done when they're defeated, and it will take us down to the staircase where I am on screen at the moment. Now, don't go any farther forward to the next boss. You need to stop here because we need to jump here up this tree, and it's actually very easy to do. You just take a little walk, jump, and there you go. You've got your first little invisible step, and then from there on, just jump and nudge once forward, etc., till you get to the tree trunk, and then you can just run up the rest of the way. Very, very simple indeed, this. From there, we need to jump across onto this arch here, so I'm going to use a goblin glider to aid me. So I jump across, activate the goblin glider, it lets me land on there, and then I just run up the top. From there, just follow exactly what's going on screen, because it's just literally running down a little corridor. And then once we're here, which is the front of the dungeon, leap over the barrier. There you go. There's the entranceway right there. So we've already escaped the Temple of the Jade Serpent, the instance version. Don't get too close to the door. If you get too close to the door, you will instance out of the area, okay? That's your exit. So let's have a little explore, because this is rather cool. So the very first thing that we can see when we leave the temple grounds is there's no bridge. The bridge that used to be there is no longer active. It be gone because you wouldn't be able to see it from the instance, so they haven't had to put it in. And then the Jade Serpent statue that was over there on the left, that monument, there's just some sort of remnant, and that's the direction which I want to head in, because if you just look to the distance there, the world seems to kind of come to an end. So using the goblin glider, I'm going to leap over and try and get some distance. And the reason why I'm using the goblin glider here, you can just jump down and run here, is time saving, because this secret is all set in an instance environment. So although we've left the dungeon, in inverted commas, we're still in the instance itself. And when you're in an instance, sometimes you can't mount up. This is one of those occasions. So everywhere that you want to go, everywhere that you want to explore, you're gonna have to do it by foot, I'm afraid, people. But don't worry, to save a lot of time, what I'm gonna do in this video is gonna cut to various places so we can see what's going on. So here we are, coming to the end of this road. Hopefully not literally. And if I just change the camera angle, we can see this is where it literally cuts off. But there you go. There's nothing whatsoever. If I was to walk over this edge here, I would fall into nothingness. My game would disconnect, and that would be it. So I want to head up here where the village is. So as I arrive near Dawn's Blossom, it's just a really cool way of showing it off by doing a side-by-side with the live version on the right versus the instance version on the left, because one of the great reasons why I do these secret videos is the smoke and mirror aspect. It's all about the exploration and discovery, and how things are very sneakily and cheekily put into place that allows us to see things how they really are. Exactly the same with the Orchard, instance version on the left, live version on the right. Look at all the trees on the right hand side and everything that went into making this place look like a proper orchard. On the left hand side, nah, we don't need any of that stuff because this is an instance and it's not required. So you can physically see how much ground there is. And my final comparison between live and instance, because on the right hand side, you see how the world seems to go on forever and give that illusion of Azeroth. And then of course on the left hand side we have literally the water cut into pieces. But this piece of land right here, this intrigued me rather a lot, so I thought, hell, I want to get on over there. That's exactly what I did. So I use a goblin glider, leap off the edge and start to head towards this little snippet of land. And what was really cool when I arrived here is when I got to the edge and looked over, this is not one of those places like at the beginning where if I'd fallen off, I would have fallen and fallen, the game would have disconnected and all that kind of stuff. No, this was actually physical land, and because I was so low down, that was not much of a drop for me to kind of fall off. Not that it would have mattered, I would have used the Goblin Glider if it had been too high, but that allowed me just to nip on over and have a bit of a run around. And I decided to pan the camera angle right back here because I wanted you to get an idea of scope, not just for the Jade Forest, of course, but for the area here. And it's quite intriguing as to why they did this. What was the kind of purpose of cutting the world off at this very point? Instead of just making it one big square and then wherever you fell off, that was it. But like I said, we've seen these in other videos before. Like when I did the Everbloom and Stormwind video, there was a portion where we actually did have to jump off one of the worlds and then run on one of these areas, or mount up as we could there, because you can mount up in that dungeon, and then head on over to a separate area where they'd created a small portion of Stormwind. If you haven't seen that, just go to my playlist with all the secrets in and you get to see that too. So I did think this was rather neat. And then just very quickly showing you a perspective from the other angle of the Jade Forest when you leave. So there we go. That's how you escape from the Temple of the Jade Serpent, and also have some pretty cool exploration to go alongside it. And I really hope that you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links, they're in the description down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.